I am Nichardo James, a fourth form student of the Spanish Town High School, and I'm vying for the post Regional Vice President. I believe I'm the best candidate fit for this position because I possess the knowledge that will bring wonderful ideas to the table. When elected as the Regional Vice President, firstly, we all know that we are suffering from a worldwide crisis and we can only look to God and depend on technology to do the work. With that being said, virtual meetings will be held to communicate with the different councils across the region to be aware of what's happening in the council. Secondly, a wide variety of teenagers face mental and emotional problems. By helping them in the recovery of this trauma, we will enforce a mental health awareness program online where trauma, anxiety sessions, and more will be implemented for students that face such episodes. Third, Third, Caribbean Examination Council students most times are not prepared or rather not exposed to the means and understanding of CXC. As a past CXC taker, I see the struggles and I know the outcome. The trusted executive body will put in place more CXC workshops, not only for fifth formers, but third and fourth formers as well. This will teach the students exactly how to approach the exam, which will decide some aspect of their future. Fourth, the executive body will launch programs where students will be exposed to thrilling activities, clubs, ideas, and encounter with different student leaders to strengthen unity in the region. Last but not least, secondary institutions that are at a disadvantage of not having an effective council and receiving less support from school staff and parents. Therefore, the executive body will devote their time in working with schools that have both staff and parent support to assist the weaker institutions in order for them to rise and unite with the rest. So, each one, teach one, and your voice will be louder than 1,000 regions. So don't be lame, vote for James. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. James. We now commence your Q&A session. Remember, it's 3 questions, maximum 30 seconds to answer each question. First question, what is your vision for your region, Mr. James?
My vision for the region is for all the schools to unite with each other to rise in a right and continue on a righteous path. Yes.
Okay, all right. Your second question, what specific experiences do you have or have you had that currently prepares you for the post that you're vying for?
I am the director of meetings and coach for my very first formers. I was the head of debate team, and I'm currently the student council president of my school.
Okay, and your third and final question. Specify one initiative that you plan to prioritize for the academic year.
Schools that don't have an effective council or the council is not active, the executive body plan to work on that school to make it a better place for learning and to know more about the NSSC.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James, and all the best with the results of the election.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Next up, we have Mr. Matthew Thompson from the Marti Technical High School, and he's vying for the post of Assistant Vice President / Treasurer. Mr. Thompson. I don't believe your microphone is on.
Good day, my fellow students. My name is Matthew Thompson.
Okay, Matthew, pause. Matthew, pause. Remember.
Everyone, my name is Matthew Thompson, and I attend the Marti Technical High School, and I'm currently vying for the position of Assistant Vice President. At Marti Technical, I have served as the Director of Public Prosecution within the Student Council body, member of the Sixth Form Association, and the current captain of the Marti track and field team. Having attained competence in these positions, I have learned to become a leader and an advocate for students' rights. Additionally, I believe that I have equipped myself with the requisite knowledge and skills needed to account for the finances of the region. I am destined to make a change in this region, which by extension will improve the lives of students across the island. When I am elected as your next Assistant Vice President, I will, 1, continue to use and improve the cluster system, which will improve communication, productivity, and consistency with the local councils. 2, set up a finance advice oversight committee. This oversight committee will be able to advise local councils on how they can generate income for their organization, as well as to make sure that accountability, transparency, and proper bookkeeping records are upheld. 3, endorse workshops with local councils in order to advise how they can maximize on earnings. Stick around and see how the dealing of student affairs are supposed to be. Vote Matthew Thompson for Region 6 Assistant Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. 3 questions for the Q&A session. Remember, maximum of 30 seconds per question. Your first question: what is the role of student government in guaranteeing satisfactory quality of secondary education?
Student, repeat the question for me, please, Ms. Williams.
Sure. What is the role of student government in guaranteeing satisfactory quality of secondary education?
No. Every child has a right to education, which is why the Student Council and the NSSC advocate for the rights of students in schools to ensure that they have proper access to education and that school officials do not blight their education.
All right, thank you. Your second question: what would be your main priority to support students' councils in your region within your capacity as Assistant Vice President?
No, many student councils and administrations cannot get along. So to ensure that student councils get my support, I will have workshops with them and how they can make sure they and the school administrations can get along and support them to the strongest level of advocacy within the schools.
Okay. And your third and final question: you have been a student leader for some time based on your speech. How have these experiences impacted, or will impact rather, how will these experiences impact your leadership going forward if you should be elected as Assistant Vice President?
Having been a student council representative and an executive, it has helped me to grow more as an advocate and a student leader. I have been able to lead wherever I go. So it will have a great impact on me if I am elected as the next Assistant Vice President for Region 6. And I will continue to advocate for the students' rights and lead from the front along with my other executives.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thompson, and all the best with the results of the election.
Okay.
We now move on to Miss Shanice from Guys Hill High, and she's vying for the post of Secretary PRO. Ms. Slack?
A pleasant evening. My name is Shanice, a student of the Guys Hill High School. It was Alan Mullally who said, Leadership is having a compelling vision, a comprehensive plan, relentless implementation, and talented people working together. Good evening to you all. My name is Shanice, a proud student of the Geisel High School, and I am vying for the position of Secretary Public Relations Officer for Region 6. I know with no doubt that I am the right candidate for this position because I am a hardworking, vibrant, and passionate individual who believes that coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. And by believing in this, when elected Secretary PRO for Region 6, I will be working with the other executive members to administer well. I will keep up-to-date attendance and membership of the council, and also putting measures in place to influence communication and participation by taking advantage of the necessary social media platforms so that information that needs to be communicated to the wider student body is disseminated on time and accurately. Also, I will make certain that all minutes recorded from meetings are kept under serious supervision. As Secretary PRO, I will do my best to communicate with you regularly because I believe in inclusive leadership. A leader should listen to your voices and ensure that matters are dealt with in a fair and equitable way. I implore you to vote Shanice for your Secretary PRO for Region 6 because individually we are just one drop, but together we are an ocean. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lack. And now we'll commence your Q&A session. 3 questions will be asked, and you have a maximum of 30 seconds to answer each question. First question, what do you think should be the NSSC's top priority for the next academic year in regards to your region?
To ensure that everybody knows about the NSSC, because every student and every school in Jamaica should know about the NSSC.
Okay. Second question, how can we ensure that more students are familiar with the NSSC?
Through the different social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. By interacting with the students, asking questions, answering questions, to let them know that NSSC is here and it is here to advocate for them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Your third and final question. What is the value of including students in decision-making processes at the secondary level in education?
Because as students, we have a voice and we need to voice our concerns we need to voice our concerns